What if I told you that Jax's abstraction was inevitable? By the finale, Jax had already set himself on a path that almost couldn't end any other way. Jax is easily the most complex character, not just in TADC, but the most complex character that I've ever theorized about. This guy has so many layers, and he could be a disguised lasagna. He had many chances to be saved from abstraction, but completely ignored them to the point that it is safe to say that he was too far gone to be saved. Let the fun begin. To understand why Jax became the person we know in the circus, we need to look at who he was before it. Jax, aside from his digital copy in the circus, 22-year-old guy who had endured many traumatic experiences. After his parents had divorced, he didn't have a good relationship with his mother. She used to say that he reminded her of his dad and that he was weak when he showed any kind of vulnerability. One day, he finally opened up to his mother, and she started laughing at him instead of comforting him. And after all that, she hugged him. He didn't know why, but it didn't feel right. So he pushed her with full force. The push was enough for her not to get up after that. He didn't know if she was dead or just unconscious. Not knowing what to do, he ran away. He was now homeless, living in the streets, until his digital copy entered the Amazing Digital Circus. But that trauma didn't leave him even in the circus. Now he was stuck in a digital world forever. That alone is a traumatic event of its own. Fortunately, he managed to actually make friends in the circus. Ribbit and Kaufmo, his new friends, who you've probably heard the name of many times already, made him genuinely enjoy his time in the circus. But all good things must come to an end, right? It all broke down the day when Ribbit asked Jax a simple question.
Have you ever done something that you regret?
She opened up to him about her hard relationship with her parents and asked if he trusted her enough to open up to her. Jax did open up to Ribbit. He told her everything and even shared a heartwarming moment with her.
This is embarrassing.
Just as everyone thought that Jax had found peace by telling her, he heard a knock on the door. He hurriedly threw the bow on the floor and asked Ribbit not to tell this to anyone.
Am I such an idiot? Why am I such an idiot? Why am I such an idiot?
Later, he doubled down by saying that everything he said was a joke, which she knew was definitely not true. He kept pushing her away, and after that, whenever there was a team adventure, he chose to team up with Kaufmo instead of her. He even made Kaufmo, the calmest guy in the circus, worry. All this pushing led to the argument on the snowy hill.
Jax, can we talk?
What is there for us to possibly talk about?
I don't know, just whatever I did, whatever's going on between us, can we just stop this? I miss talking to you.
We're here. We're talking. What else do you want from me?
I just want to be friends again.
What? So you can pry into my personal life and hold it over my head?
Is that really what you think? This can't be what you want.
What? Because you know me so
I
well.
wanna be-
Because we're such super close best friends. So we
Jax,
know everything
were
about each other.
friends. We were great friends, and I'm
Oh
sorry
my
if you're
God.
crying, but I don't want this one stupid mistake to be
Here
the
we
thing
go.
that ends
Here
all
we
of this.
go. Why are you still fixated on that night? Nothing happened. You keep reading into things when there's nothing there.
I'm not.
You're the one using me. You're manipulating me.
I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone.
After this, Ribbit never reached out to Jax, and one day abstracted. Now I do get why Jax did what he did. He was scared of his real vulnerable self being exposed to everyone. That's literally the nightmare we see in episode 8. But one thing he did that was inexcusably wrong was pushing Ribbit away. None of this was her fault. She got punished for no reason. She was always there for him. She didn't make fun of him for opening up. But Jax projected an old wound onto someone who had never hurt him. This moment could have literally saved Jax from all the trouble he went through. Opening up could have genuinely saved him from his fate. But as stubborn as he is, he chose not to be saved. He learned a very dangerous lesson that day. A lesson that shouldn't be learned from such a situation. The lesson being that he can't show his real self to anyone. And if he does, it will hurt him and the others around him. All this led to his mask coming on. The mask of a guy who is a menace. The mask of a guy who hurts people for fun. The mask of a guy who isn't Jax. Kaufmo, hurt by all of this, began searching for the exit, a way to leave the circus and everything behind. Many other members of the circus show up, but they only get to see Jax's menacing tough guy persona. His only friend Kaufmo, abstracted too. Now he genuinely had no one looking out for him when he's sad, angry, or broken. He was all alone in this digital world. Again, if he had allowed himself to learn from this, he could have been saved. Now, a new member enters this picture. We all know her. Pomni. Pomni was similar to Ribbit in many ways, which caught Jax's attention. They eventually got closer to each other. At the end of the gun episode where they win, Pomni tries to hug him, but he pushed her. He pushed Pomni in the same way he pushed his mother. Only she didn't fall. He then claimed that everything they had been through together meant nothing and that he had been merely entertaining her. All the fun they had apparently meant nothing to him. She knew that wasn't the truth. She knew that he was just lying and could see right through him. She provoked him with a very specific point.
Have you ever thought that this might be what causes people to abstract in the first place?
Oh my god! Are you seriously gonna blame me for something that everybody else did too? You didn't even know him! You don't even know what people are like before they abstract. They are not pleasant to be around. Like at all!
Pomni here was completely right. This is what made Kaufmo and Ribbit abstract, him pushing them away. He says that people who are about to abstract are not pleasant to be around, but the only thing Ribbit and Kaufmo wanted was Jax's support. Ribbit didn't lash out at him for no reason. Kaufmo wanted help finding the exit. But aside from believing he was serious, Jax mostly dismissed him as crazy. We know what happened to Jax. He abstracted. The Jax we knew is no more. And I would say that he himself was actually the one who was not pleasant to be around. Jax, after lashing out, told Pomni that he enjoys playing with people and that he finds fun in making people suffer. His voice alone gives a sense of fakeness to the listener, as if he's trying to convince himself more than Pomni. In fact, psychologists have found that people do not typically argue to change the other person's mind. They argue to justify their own. The act of stating your case aloud triggers psychological mechanisms that make you dig your heels in much deeper than the person in front of you. He wasn't trying to convince Pomni that he was terrible. And if he was, that was only partial. He believes he killed his mom, and his only two caring friends had abstracted because of him. He was the root cause, so why not fully embrace it? Why not lean into being a psychomaniac who destroys people? That wasn't Jax. That's just what Jax believes he is. Jax is someone who actually cares, but chooses not to show it. He said that he would move on if Pomni abstracted too, but the truth is, he hasn't even moved on from his two friends who abstracted before. Jax wasn't choosing pain because he enjoyed it. He thought pain was all he deserved. As stubborn as Pomni is, she chooses not to let go. And as stubborn as Jax is, he chooses not to open up. Jax, all this time, wore a tough guy mask to hide his broken self. The tough guy mask makes a person psychologically and emotionally weaker over time, even though it is adopted to feel strong. While it acts as a short-term shield against vulnerability, it destroys the underlying foundation of genuine mental resilience. His fake strength was his real weakness after all. After the argument, he went into a complete withdrawal from everyone in the circus. But as they say, on the other side of a dark cave is the light. That light was Pomni. Pomni never stopped reaching out to him, even after that argument. She chose not to give up on Jax no matter what happened. She tried her best to calm him whenever he felt doubtful. She was the one who saved him from abstracting in episode 7, even if it was unintentional. Even after Jax tells her he's not interested in finding the exit, she still somehow convinces him to follow Abel. If not for her convincing him to come, he would have abstracted in episode 7. His final straw was the finale. After everybody finds out that they aren't actually humans trapped in the circus, but brain scans of humans, Jax lashes out at everyone and leaves. The circus members start to rebuild the circus with their newly learned conjuring abilities. Jax doesn't participate in any of it. He goes to Pomni to say something but leaves after saying, "Never mind." We don't see him as his real self after that. We only see his abstracted monster persona, a monster devoid of any individuality. That's all that's left of him now. Pomni tries getting the abstracted monster into a dark room. He seemed calm in the darkness. Pomni hugs Jax and somehow manages to go inside Jax's mind. She sees how Jax views the circus members and finally learns the truth about him. Everything that he had hidden from everyone in the circus is now known to Pomni. She managed to find the real Jax finally. She tried to run towards him but was unable to. Jax asks if she came here just to make him relive all his mistakes.
You're making this so much harder.
You should have just talked to me, man.
It's too late. I did this to myself. There's no coming back from this.
Then talk to me now.
I hate you. You know that? You always have to go and complicate things.
It's what I do.
That is the most beautiful and heartbreaking scene in the whole series. Just two friends hugging, trying to make the other feel less alone. Jax had never gotten this feeling from anyone else. But this can't go on forever, can it? The cast members separate Pomni and Jax. She was all glitchy and corrupted. The circus was back to normal, except the troublemaker isn't here anymore. It's not known what happens to the brain scan after the person has abstracted. What we know is that Jax did this to himself. He had many chances to be saved, as I previously mentioned. He can't go back anymore. The cast members live happily in the circus now, except Jax isn't here to experience the enjoyment. There are a lot of things to learn from Jax's story. As the voice actor for Jax, Michael Kovacs, said it,
Don't lock yourself away from others. Let yourself connect with others, and don't be afraid to be open about the things that are bothering you.
we humans are social creatures and can't live on our own. We need people in our lives who can make us feel loved and appreciated. This story is about two characters, Jax and Pomni. One who is too stubborn to be saved, and the other who is too stubborn to give up. That's the story Gooseworks wanted to tell. Jax isn't real, but many relate to him on a very deep level. That's why he's a fan favorite, right? Well, that's it for this video, and hopefully, I'll see you next time.